Hey everybody, I hope you are well. I am tired, but I am here in Hartford. You can see in the background we are, as we speak, voting on an amendment to a Senate bill, Senate priority bill. So this was an amendment brought by the minority, so you'll see a lot of green votes in the minority for the amendment and a whole big red board against the amendment. Anyway, that's pretty indicative, not necessarily those votes, but of where we are. We are in the final big, fat, thick part of session, which is to say we are here in Hartford till the session goes at least till 10 p.m., often later. And I, because we're still working on that budget, I'm here after those hours for a little bit as well to iron out deals and talk to people. And I think we are coming to a solution, which is good to feel, but still lots of work to do because the devil is always in the details, and we have to get people to put those pens down, stop adding to it. So I think we're pretty close on that. But what's happening is, we're passing House bills, we're passing Senate bills. We are a legislature with joint committees, which is to say every committee of cognizance, we call them, which is like the Finance Committee, which I chair, is a joint committee. So it has a House chair and a Senate chair. So all bills go through the committee process as joint matters, but they get designated either House or Senate bills. And the Senate bills go to the Senate first, House bills go to the House first. I think I should probably mute that while I'm talking to you. A little bit of the colloquy that we have. And the low numbered bills, which for the Senate are the actually, 1 through 12 or something like that. And for the House, it means 5,001 and up. So I think this year it's 5,001 and 2, 3, and 4. Are our priority bills, and those tend to be, we have to, of course, be in communication with the other chamber to make sure, because they have to pass both chambers, and they can be quite heated negotiations sometimes because people are tired and they're trying to hang on to what they negotiated. And we generally, we conduct those negotiations before the bills hit the floor, so we try not to, for example, amend in the House a Senate priority bill. We just did that today because we had a bill which unusually, a Senate priority bill, we were told faced a certain veto by the governor and a long debate in the House. So what we are sort of, the thing that we have the least of right now is time. And because we do not shut debate down in the House or the Senate for now, that means we strike deals for how long debates are going to last, and we expect people to hold to them. And generally they do, although not always. And that means that if you have a very controversial bill and there's going to be a long debate, that means other bills, we don't have time to hear other bills. So we opted, rather than having the bill face a certain veto and a long debate, after a long debate, which would take a lot of time, we amended it. So we're going to see what the Senate does with that bill. Sometimes you get a Senate priority bill, and again, I'm talking as a House member. I'm sure you could get a different perspective from someone in the Senate, but we had another Senate priority bill that was, I think, maybe hadn't quite gotten itself completely ready, and it got referred to various other committees because it involved the cognizance of a variety of different committees: the Judiciary Committee, the Appropriations Committee, and then finally the Finance Committee. And we could not vote on it. We decided not to take action on that bill because it had a really large fiscal note, which we had not included in the budget. And so we decided it wasn't reasonable for us to let expectations continue. And so we have to agenda the bill, but we don't vote on it. And so that bill didn't make it. So that's sort of a flavor of what's happening at the moment. We passed in the House one of our priority bills, 5002, which is a big housing bill. And I want to note that because this is a lot of the really big, important bills, it takes many years to actually get them to a place where they can pass. And we had a version of this last year, which passed in the House and not in the Senate. And I voted against that bill because although I support efforts and funding for more housing, it is absolutely clear that Connecticut has a housing shortage and crisis. Everybody, not just people who are looking for affordable housing, but many, many, many people across the economic spectrum are paying too much for housing. And think one of our big business organizations just issued a report confirming that and how those costs are impacting people across the state. But the bill possibly threatened to deprioritize funding for small towns because it was prioritizing cities and towns that were close to transportation infrastructure, and because we don't have that, I voted against the bill because I spoke to our housing advocates and they were concerned about that. This year, I've again spoken to the housing advocates, and they were confident that this had been corrected this time around, and that our towns would not be at a disadvantage in pursuing those funds. So I did vote for that bill yesterday. It is a long and complicated bill, and it's long and complicated because it's been the subject of a lot of negotiation. In fact, right up to the last minute, it was scheduled for debate. I don't know when, I've lost track of time, but maybe the end of last week or the early this week, and it didn't go at the last minute because there were last minute changes that someone, was suggesting that we thought were a good idea. So that got added to the bill. So I do believe that it will increase the availability of housing while also empowering towns with the ability to decide, to get resources, to make a plan, and to figure out how to move forward with this so that, people who want to live in our towns have the ability to do so. And later today, we're going to be debating 5001, which is a bill on special education. And I certainly hear from many parents, particularly recently, who have children in special education. Our system in Connecticut needs a lot of help. We have some of the highest costs in the state, in the country. We send more kids out of state than almost any other state. Those programs are costly and sometimes inappropriate. We have things to do. In fact, this year's bill will be step one in that, but we did provide additional resources and tools, additional assessments to help students get the help that they need earlier on, while also giving districts ability to control costs and find appropriate program for kids. So that was the subject of a lot of negotiation, but a lot of across the board, bipartisan negotiation and bicameral negotiation, meaning House and Senate. So I'm hopeful that bill will actually not be have a lot of bipartisan support later today because of the really good work that's gone into that. So that's where we are. We're watching things ping back and forth. I came back over to my office to do this because it is too noisy in the Capitol to do a video where I can still vote for my office for a little while, but I do like to be on the floor. So I'm going to head back out and do that in a few minutes. And I hope you are taking a walk outside. It looks nice. See you soon. Bye.